Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Casey. From the apocalypse, if you will.
Los Angeles and California is burning.
It is.
The sky is orange. My car was covered in ash.
As if we weren't all afraid to go outside, and now we just can't breathe out there. And it's truly terrifying and scary, and yet we shall not be bogged down in the fear, but it's a weird time. And it was very apocalyptic when I went out to walk my dog briefly, because then literally from the sky, a crow got really close to me. And I was like, this is the end. Is this the end of days?
This is the end. I know today I looked up at the sky. I was so depressed today. I was just like, I fucking hate Los Angeles. I'm just so done. I'm done today, but I'm going to rise above and I'm going to pick it up for this podcast.
Happy to.
There is one thing, Danielle, that has lifted spirits that I do feel we need to just really get into right off the bat, which is a new show, of course. My sister-in-law, Shira, got me into it, of course.
She always has the finest taste. And by the finest, I mean the garbage, like deep down in the garbage. If you think you've hit the bottom of the garbage, she goes lower.
Yes, she's in the sludge.
Yeah, she's in that stuff that you just don't even know is there.
She turned me on to a little show. It's a spin-off, if you will, a spin-off of 90 Day Fiancé. Do you remember a little character named Darcey? She had the veneers that were too tight.
Yeah, we have to cut the steak on the bias. She taught me a lot.
Cut the steak on the bias, of course. Darcey Silva.
Love her.
Now, Darcey was hiding her gifts during the period with her and Jesse.
Really? I thought she brought him to the table.
Danielle, by gift, I mean her twin sister, Stacey.
Oh, yes. She showed up briefly, but I'd love more of her.
Oh, you're going to get more in a little show called Stacey and Darcey.
Really?
They live together. They have matching cars. They have matching furs. They get plastic surgery at the same time together. They both love Eastern European, preferably Bulgarian, younger bodybuilders who have no money and control them. It's wonderful. I cried 6 times last night.
What were you crying about?
Stacey's in therapy and she's like, I don't know why. I let men treat me like this. I was like, ah.
Really?
It's an amazing show.
Wow. I think I would like that. I think that would really soothe my spirits and my soul right now. I feel like
they're monsters and yet they're not. It's interesting. Jesse to me was the monster, not Darcey.
Uh-huh.
But she's still tottering around on those little heels and storming out of restaurants and stuff. And it's really good, and I'm breathlessly awaiting a cameo that I bought for Shira's birthday from both Stacey and Darcey for $120.
Do they perform together?
2 for the price of 1, much like you and I. I really feel for them, and I like them, and everyone, you must be watching. It's truly incredible.
Where are they based again? Connecticut?
Yes, that's right.
They have a Jersey vibe, but I knew it was a little off, Jersey.
Exactly. It's adjacent. Not where you think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I do think there's a trashier component to Connecticut. I think we do think of Connecticut as it's very sort of waspy rich, but I do think Connecticut also has its trash.
Now, Danielle, why are you assuming they're not from the rich area of Connecticut?
I'm not saying it's not that sort of new money. Right. I'm just, when you think old money.
It's no money. But I'll say there's a devastating scene. It is truly the most best comedic scene I've ever seen, Danielle. We need to do a Hot Wives spinoff where
on it.
Where Darcey gets into the bathtub to FaceTime with a lover. The water's too hot and she's filled with bubbles, completely naked. The phone keeps slipping. She's like, steam's rising. She's sweating. She's like, hey, baby. But she's so hot. And she's like, I gotta get out of the water, baby. It's shocking.
She's boiling herself to death and we're watching it like a lobster.
Literally, yes. And then, oh, this is so devastating. Last thing is this guy sends her roses and it's so sad. I'm like, does she want, these people on these shows want this fairy tale.
Yes, they do.
It's so, he sends her some cute roses and that's very nice. Mm-hmm. And she opens the card. She's known him 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. She's never met him in person. And the producer, she's just quiet. And the producer goes, Darcey, can you tell us what it says? And she goes, I'm going to need a minute. Starts crying, comes back and is like, it says, I've been enjoying talking to you. And she goes, I've just really felt those words. I just really felt that note was genuine. I was like, oh my God, it's the best.
So little means so much. And I love that about Darcey or Stacey. They're interchangeable.
And you can't tell them apart and they don't bother putting up a little
they don't tell you. The shows are always so good. I can't remember anyone's name on any show.
I think they like us not knowing.
That's a good, because like even on the Real Housewives, they're like Kyle. I'm like, I fucking know already it's Kyle. I know.
Yeah, they're like Kyle's dog. And don't tell me Portia again.
I know. I'm just like, I know who her child is. I know who her fishmonger is. I know who they all are. I don't need any more names.
Danielle, you pointed out that aside from the gain, that is Darcey and Stacey. Yeah, and I think I credited Stacey first last time. And it's definitely, we're leading with Darcey. You pointed out that we've also lost a lot this week.
We really have. There has been a lot of losses this week in the sense that we just found out that Denise Richards is no longer going to be with us.
Those little platform motorcycle boots.
She's never met a pair of boot-cut jeans that she hasn't embraced. Even at a formal event, I will miss her. We've also lost Century 21, where Sonia Morgan had Sonia Morgan New York. It's going out of business, Century 21 this week. And that is a blow for Sonia.
That is a blow.
Teetering on the edge of sanity and
bankruptcy
at all times, at all moments.
Danielle, fan reached out and gave me some unfortunate news about, there's something about this, like, it was so cute and hilarious, but Sonia, of course, was in the retailer, Century 21, but on Instagram was following Century 21 Bank.
No.
I just love it. I was like, she's just seeing like them post about banks. And she's like, where are my wares?
She goes into the bank and she's like, where's my rack?
Where's my pussy?
And then we've also had some other losses, which is Dorit sold her house in the Valley this week. That like $9 million, or that's what it said in the real estate listings.
Why, Danielle?
I mean, is it the Valley? No one will know. As someone who
But why is she selling?
I don't know if it's more sinister. Like, I don't know if it's like the bankruptcy stuff or just, I don't know. They just bought that fucking disgusting place.
I feel like she'll spin this whole thing of like,
we just needed to go bigger.
Someone loved it. Yeah, and somebody came by and they offered an offer we couldn't refuse, and it was Bubba's idea, and it was like all this nonsense about dream home, but we couldn't resist. Yeah.
It'll be something. And then another loss for you this week, probably the greatest loss, is the Kardashians. Now, the minute I saw the news, I texted you immediately and I said, with all seriousness, how are you?
Yeah.
And I ask again, how are you?
So at this time, Danielle, I'd like to hold comment because we're actually going to be doing a very special episode about this. We gathered 2 Kardashian fans. I don't want haters like yourself.
I'm not a hater. I'm just not a lover.
But you're not a participant either.
I was not.
Yeah. So that podcast will be a very special episode next week with Miss June Diane Rayfield and Jessica St. Clair and I, where we really put our heads together about what this means and why we blame Kourtney. And if we think spinoffs are coming, and I think people think I'm joking right now, but my sister-in-law wrote on this chain that we were on. She was like, hey, they needed to go, they this and they that. And Deanna defended me and she's like, Casey's probably really feeling this year. And she was like, fuck them. And I was like, getting so upset.
And Deanna literally said, not now, Shira. Like,
not now.
This is not the time. The body is still warm, basically, is what.
Obviously, they don't hold the same place in my heart as the Housewives, obviously, but it's a number 2. How would you all feel listening to this at home if one day you just heard out of the fucking clear blue Housewives are canceled? How would you feel?
Oh, I would
put yourself in my shoes.
I wouldn't know what to do.
My shoe dazzle.
If your shoe dazzle and your Jessica Simpson heels.
Put yourself in my Skims.
I mean, if the Housewives were gone today, it's like in Chorus Line. Remember when he's like, what would you do if you couldn't dance? For any of you musical lovers out there. And they're like, I don't know, man. Like, and it's usually, this is being performed at like a high school with a 16-year-old who has no idea what it means to like not be able to do what you love anymore because you're too old. But what would I do if there were no Housewives? I don't like to.
I don't even want to think about that world, Danielle.
You know what? I don't want to drop.
Not today.
I can't think of it.
Well, we don't have to think about it, Danielle, because a trailer came out.
Oh, a trailer
for a new
out
city.
Oh, yes.
Salt Lake City.
Now, what did you think of that trailer, Casey?
I loved it, Danielle. I loved it. I got a thrill. I got a chill. I loved it. It was like, God, it was like when you think you're being catfished and then it's actually someone. I feel like we'd heard nothing. We'd seen no signs, nothing of these women. And then like, wow, that's a real boyfriend. Yeah. It was really exciting. What did you think?
I was
found a quote that disturbed you.
Yes, there was a quote, and I'm just going to read it right now because they're all different. You know, it was shocking to see, like, it wasn't just like there were a lot of white ladies, don't get me wrong. And when you think of Salt Lake City, you do think like white Mormons, right? But there was a Jewess, which I was excited to find.
Were you so happy, Danielle?
You know me, I'm always looking for a Jewess in the pile of whiteys.
And she seemed like a great gal. Not just a Jew, but she's not really a Jewess, Danielle, because she said, I'm a Jewish Mormon.
Yeah, well, it's weird. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
That's those two things. And there's also a Black woman and there is a Muslim woman. So, you know, like, I'm excited that there's a little bit of something, you know, like we're getting a little more flavor than even we get in like New York or Beverly Hills. It's like
we get nothing in New York.
We get nothing. And so to just have that in of all
city
places,
of every ethnicity.
Yeah. And to have it in Salt Lake City, just a sea of white, like blonde Mormon women. I'm excited that there's more than meets the eye, which is, but one of them has, and this is her description, and this brought me in. So there is a lovely woman named Mary Cosby. No relation. No relation.
No relation.
And it says, with a penchant for God, couture, and only the finest champagne, Mary Cosby is a Pentecostal first lady who inherited her family's empire of churches, restaurants, and more. The caveat in her taking over the family business was that she married her late grandmother's second husband. I will say this again. The caveat.
Take that again. Yeah, I want to hear it again.
Hear this again, everybody. The caveat in her taking over the family business was that she married her late grandmother's second husband, Robert Cosby Sr. They have since been married for 20 years and have one teenage son together. Small but mighty and always dressed to the nines, her unconventional past has made her guarded, and she quickly finds herself on shaky ground with some of the ladies. But I think the headline is that she married her grandfather, right?
Hold up. Are we going to see that son? Ooh.
Yeah, so anyway, it's a shock that this is, you know, going on. It's just, it was unexpected. So that gave a little, you know, gave a spin to my step.
Me too.
So that was exciting. I'm very excited about what we have in front of us, right?
And when do we get it?
November, I think I heard, or October, November, guys. I don't know what date it is.
Oh, by the way, just while everyone, just in terms of October and the fires in LA, they canceled Halloween, and they said it is basically against the law for anyone to trick or treat here. Yeah. And you can't be seen out of your house unless you're with your family can't even be at your house.
Yeah.
Like extended family.
Yeah. Yeah. It keeps getting better. Keeps getting better. But I wasn't probably not going to have my daughter trick or treat anyway this year. I was just going to probably like hide candy in my house. So it's not a shock.
I'm going to do, I think, a trick or treat. Like you can, this is the saddest thing of all, trick or treat in a different room. So sad.
One last thing I wanted to say real quick before
we have a wonderful guest on her way.
Oh, yes. I'm very excited for this guest. She's, you got a good one. She probably knows more than we do. But I also wanted to say that, I don't know if any of our listeners watched Z-Way, our lovely, lovely Z-Way.
On Watch What Happens Live. She
was so fucking brilliant. And oh my God, she was so funny and amazing. And I love her so much. And she was fucking brilliant and should always be on that show. But we also found out the news in the show that Brandy is in touch with Heather Locklear, which I thought was the hugest news on that show. Because remember, Heather Locklear and Denise Richards used to be best friends. And Heather Locklear was married to Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi and used to hang out with her and Charlie. And they were like a couple best friend.
Yeah, because Heather was on a show with Charlie forever.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so then Charlie and Denise obviously got divorced. And then Richard and Heather Locklear got divorced, and Richie and
I'm pretty sure you're calling him Richard.
Didn't mean to call him by his Christian
more
name.
than he's ever been given.
Sir Richard, and Denise then dated Richie Sambora, and Heather was fucking pissed, as any of us would be. So then after Brandy started like tweeting stuff about Denise Richards, like Heather, she basically said like, tweeted her or texted her and said like, I'm on your side. Now the world can see like who Denise Richards is.
Well, she said, I would go and watch What Happens Live, but I can't because I've also been sent a cease and desist from Denise. Now, Greg Bennett sent us a really funny text about Brandy on Watch What Happens Live. He said, Brandy going from reunion guest to exclusive one-on-one sit down to regular Watch What Happens Live guest live from an efficiency apartment with a poor Wi-Fi connection. And you said she's living the dream. That Wi-Fi was coming in and out. I wish a router had been involved. Oh, Danielle.
Maybe she could borrow Leanne Ryan's router.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm so scared of her.
I know.
But congratulations to Ziwa. That was truly wonderful.
She was so funny and just a genius. I love her.
It was like seeing a friend win an Oscar.
It really was, because
that placement. And we're going to talk about this because I'm fucking pissed that Brandy wasn't at the reunion. Yes. So we'll talk about that. Okay. Danielle, before we take our break and bring out our lovely guest, Sam Bush, who is the Bravo historian, which is, I mean, we've never had a historian.
No, we haven't. We haven't had a real scholar.
We've never had a doctor. We've never had a historian. Never had a dentist. We have an event that we would like to quickly tell everyone about. Mm-hmm. Now, I know you might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, you're doing another show and you're asking us for more money. This is a political fundraiser. This is a political event that Danielle and I are hosting in conjunction with June Diane Raphael and the Jane Club, in conjunction with the actress from Scandal. Maybe you know her, Katie Lowe's. We are inviting you all to a fundraiser for Vote Mama. Okay, Vote Mama is an organization that I've worked with forever. I love them. They support progressive Democratic moms with young children who are running for office up and down the ballot across the country. This is why a lot of young women do not run, because they have kids. They can't afford childcare. If we want to make change in this country, we need to support organizations that are supporting young women, particularly young mothers. Those voices are nowhere in the Senate. And here's what the night will be, Danielle. It's a highbrow, lowbrow night.
It sure is.
Politics and comedy. First half, if you can imagine, will be moderating a discussion. But, well, it's really just a discussion between myself and Luba Shirley, who runs Vote Mama, and the candidate that they have been supporting, who's incredible, Candace Valenzuela, who is a candidate for U.S. House in Texas. She is doing amazingly. She has a chance to win. We have a chance to flip this district. It's unbelievable. And if Candace wins, she will be the first Black Latina in Congress. This is big. So we're going to be speaking with Candace, Danielle. And then after we have that highbrow moment, we'll be plunging into the garbage.
Our best
and
work
you
is
and I and anyone who cares to stay on. And I hope Candace doesn't, because I don't want that.
I don't want her to see us like that.
I don't want her to see that.
No.
But anyone who wishes to stay on, Danielle and I will be taping the podcast, not a live show with song and dance, but just like we're doing now. And we'll be on Zoom. We can all see each other. We will be taping the podcast, a very special, scandalous episode of the podcast with the guests Katie Lowe's, Scott Foley, and Joshua Molina from Scandal. And we'll be doing a little Bachelor Real Housewives off.
Yeah,
those
Bachelor
motherfuckers like The Bachelor.
Real Housewives, because we've always said there are Bachelor people and Real Housewives people, and never do the two mix.
And these Scandal cast members are going to try to convince us, and I'm not going to have it, but they're coming. So that is a full night, everyone. On my Instagram and on Danielle's, you can find links to, this is a fundraiser, remember, so we are charging $100 to attend this event, but you're getting Candace, you're getting June Diane, you're getting me, you're getting Katie Lowe's, you're getting Danielle Schneider, you're getting Candace Valenzuela, you're getting Scott Foley, you're getting Josh Molina, you're getting Katie Lowe's, you're getting the Jane Club, you're getting Vote Mama.
And you're help getting this unprecedented, amazing, woman into the House of Reps.
Not to mention all the other candidates that Vote Mama supports. We are days from this election. They desperately need money. $100 would mean so much. I know we're also strapped, but I also think we have to get very uncomfortable with the amount that we can give leading up to this election. That's my personal opinion. And if you can, it will be an amazing night for such a great cause for Vote Mama. And last thing I'll say is you can always give more too. Danielle, I'm excited for this night. And that is going to take place on September 24th on a Thursday at 5 p.m. our time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. That was a long pitch, but I hope you join us for a wonderful night of politics and comedy. Let's take a break and we'll be back with our guest. Danielle, let's bring out our guest. She's heard us jibber jabber enough.
Yeah, she sure has.
This is a gal I found on the Instagrams.
Ooh, the best place to find the best people.
Poking around. She is called on Instagram the Bravo Historian, and she is a historian. Mm-hmm. She has a site devoted to all things Bravo.
It's
and as
brilliant.
She says,
it is a brilliant
it's
site.
Really hilarious. I mean, she really goes deep into this. Please welcome the Bravo historian herself, Sam Bush.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming all the way from Detroit. I mean, on Zoom.
On Zoom. Hi, Sam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How are you guys holding up?
Not well. I think we've made that clear.
Oh, God. Sam, tell us how you became so obsessed with Housewives.
I became obsessed with Real Housewives. It was the first season of Atlanta. I became obsessed with Kim Zolciak and her chain smoking, ripping cigarettes constantly. And then it was at the reunion when she wore that yellow satin blouse with her vest.
Yes, and she told everyone she had cancer, and then
quickly was like, "No, I don't."
I don't.
She was
quickly was like, "I thought I might."
Yeah,
and we all went on that very fast roller coaster.
Yes, and everyone was in leggings. It was really weird, but so ever since then, I've just been obsessed with Housewives.
Wow. Now, you said you've met some friends from out listening to our podcast.
Yes. So it was 4 years ago. I became friends with people that listened to the podcast. And now, I visited them and out in LA multiple times. Yeah.
Multiple times. I
love this.
Yeah.
What if they were catfishing you and they didn't even like Housewives?
I was terrified that I was being set up to be murdered. I was so scared.
In our community of housewife fans, you still could be murdered.
Absolutely.
They could still be a fan of Housewives and murder you. That's not such a far stretch.
If they were LVP stans, they would murder me.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel our fans, though, are fans of murder, but not murderers.
I get that. But if you said the wrong thing, if you said, I don't think Portia's great, I think you could get murdered.
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
Because she's great. And I would murder for her in a second.
I would die for Portia.
I love her so much. So how did you name yourself the Bravo Historian? What made you feel that was your calling?
I always used to say that, me and my friends, when we would talk about this podcast or just Housewives in general, we would always refer to ourselves as that. And then it just kind of came about. So, yeah. Yeah.
I'm very happy to have a historian here. Let's jump right in. You told us over the break that you have some information you would like to share about Mary Crosby.
Our newest Salt Lake City, the one who married her grandfather.
We remember.
Just giving everyone some context.
So her grandma was loaded, absolutely loaded, Mormon church money. And they ended up having to exhume her body when she died because she died under mysterious circumstances. And her husband, who is now Mary's husband, was very against this. And they think that there was something
foul play.
Do you think that he set this whole thing up? She can have the restaurants if she marries him, so he killed her?
Interesting.
Wow, that's hard to
I know, I'm sorry. I didn't
understand.
I didn't know people thought.
I don't know. Again, this is all new information. All of this is new information. So I'm
now I'm just noticing your background, Sam.
Are you? Oh my God! Are you in the Dorinda's fish room?
Are you in the fish room?
Yes.
I love it.
I'm in mourning over
for Dorinda.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's get right into New York because we just had reunion part 1. Are you still in mourning after you saw her behavior in the reunion?
Yes, and that's a really unpopular opinion.
Go ahead.
Okay. We're listening.
Oh God, Casey said go ahead. Okay. So
that means I don't agree with you, but I'll let you speak your piece before I trash you.
Absolutely, yes. So she's super problematic. I really just want her to take 1 or 2 seasons off and kind of regroup maybe and then come back. I think she got in a little deep, kind of like Rinna.
Wow. Okay. if she regrouped, I love the old Dorinda.
Me too. Who doesn't? But I think we found out some very important information this week because we've all been wondering, why is Dorinda so mad at Tinsley? Like, none of us could figure it out. We're like, it seems to come out of nowhere. Like, who cares? What is this anger about? And we all decided, like, it's because Tinsley, but we all got to the bottom of it, which is over this money that Scott gave John, her ex-boyfriend.
Why the hell was Scott giving John money?
I don't know. He seems like a real strange character, John. So I would not give that man
So
money.
John didn't even have enough money, like, to put together, like, a couple $100?
I don't know. Like, maybe it was for Madame Paulette's. Like, maybe it was going on. I don't know. But Dorinda, like, that footage of her yelling at John, like, I just felt like it was the missing piece. And not that I understand why she's mad about this money or whatever, but it just felt like, oh, there's something behind this. Now I know. And she's still going after Tinsley because, as Deanna Chang sent us a picture today from the reunion that Dorinda had posted, and she had purposely cut Tinsley out of the picture. I mean, that's she's still carrying something there.
And still fucking so here's where I cut Dorinda loose, Sam, for good. Today, after all of the heat I'm sure she got for the horrible comment she made about fertility, for then tonight for her to continue on and be like, oh, I thought you would have been pregnant by now. Oh, you're not pregnant. Well, it's all you talked about. I thought you would have done IVF or something by now. It's like she should be murdered.
Yeah.
That's how I felt when she said that tonight, is I want to kill her.
She just has like this inability to like apologize or own up to anything. But she's literally always been this way. Not saying that it's right. I'm just saying,
but
like,
I feel
she's always this like monster that comes out.
But I felt there was a softer side of Sears in earlier seasons where, like, she wouldn't go for the jugular in such like a weird, like, especially with Tinsley, who's such like a nothing, like a defenseless little idiot, you know? And like, so to go for her, it just isn't a fair fight. And it feels so wrong and weird. And
yeah, just punching down.
Yeah, it feels weird, especially because like when she would argue with Bethany, it was like they were kind of formidable. And now with Tinsley, it's like she's in this like ballerina dress. She's got lots of bracelets on.
It looks
like
insane.
She looks insane. Like it just
that hair is like 6 inches too long on either
side. She's done something to her face or taped it back. She looked so bloated. Like just something was going on there.
Her face, something happened.
Yeah, and that dress like didn't even fit in the chair. She was like in her like.
She looked like she wandered out from the woods when Andy greeted her. She was like, "Hi, Andy." Like she came from nowhere. And then when Ramona came with the mask in the parking lot, I died. Ramona screaming, "I had the virus. I had the virus." Or was she saying, "I don't have the virus"? What was she screaming?
No, it was so
I don't have the virus. Because Leah was accusing her, which she was going all over the place while people
she
were
was
dying.
in a speakeasy at the Breakers with Harry Dubin. It was like,
oh my God.
In like the height of the virus.
Like
Andy looked so disgusted when she said Harry Dubin. Like he looked appalled. Oh,
Andy, I really appreciate that I felt like Andy pinned Dorinda down as well as he could. I felt like we just saw a man who say, "She's fucking out of here." I just felt it. He was just like, she's gone. Yeah. Like when she wouldn't apologize. And I guess she tried sort of half-heartedly to apologize for the fertility stuff, which I don't know why Ramona was so intent on letting everyone know she had apologized, considering what, like Ramona and Dorinda are pathological, the way they fight, what they say about each other. Mm-hmm. And then 2 seconds later, they're having like a laugh about who's going to have to go pee next. It's so weird.
Strange.
That was so confusing for me too. Because I wrote down, I'm like, they hate each other. And then in the next breath, I was like, they're laughing about peeing. I couldn't figure it out.
Can you imagine the things that they say, like saying that to another person, having that said to you, and then laughing with that person? Like you have to just cut off your brain and your heart and just. These women
It did make me laugh when Dorinda accused Ramona of calling Leah a whore. And Ramona was like, "I never said that. You're disgusting. Go to church."
Yes, that really.
Like, this is wild. I did not like the social distance medium. I'll tell you what, I preferred the Zoom. I couldn't get them all in a wide shot. Like it just felt, I don't know. I didn't love it.
I liked it at first because I was just happy to see my friends again in person. Like, I just felt like I hadn't seen professional camera work in a while. And so it was nice to like see the lenses and the movement. Like, I miss a professional production. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the lighting. Yeah.
Like it was like seeing an old friend. Like, oh yeah, it can be like people can look good and not like Denise Richard looks insane. And if she had been lit better, we could have had a different thing. But I did miss the intimacy of the Zoom. They feel somewhat closer together when they're in the Zoom.
But that set looked like a garage sale. Like
it was.
Yes, it did. A like, rummage sale.
Is, relics of the I'm like, I don't want relics. This looks crazy.
It was. It was
well,
like
I felt like the women, just like the women. I mean, I felt like we were shooting in the storage space.
I think we were.
Like they were just like, fuck it. Open up the doors and just go in. Those like 7 ugly rugs all thrown over each other.
Those rugs were, it looked like they were just there to absorb sound. Like we weren't supposed to see them.
I almost would have preferred like an LED, like a whole back thing and them just like put weird like palm trees or like thing, video behind them or something. It was so weird. It was so gross.
One of my favorite moments was just like a Lou moment because she's so Lou sometimes. And when I can't remember what she was responding to, but she goes, she said, what did she say? She goes, do you really want to know? Like or something, do you really want to know? Like just like low and like smokers. Like I just love Lou so much.
Danielle, I wrote down that same line. But what I wrote down was the moment right before it when they're like, how do you like Leah's apartment? And the sound she made before that, she goes, I was like, what's happening? I love Leah. Boy, they were all kissing Leah's ass, including Ramona, because they saw how well Leah did.
They know who's the new queen. They know a new queen. The old queen is beheaded and the new queen has risen.
Yeah. I was shocked that they gave her like the seat right next to Andy and then like a whole segment right off the top for like a long time too. And I'm attracted to Rob.
Oh, of course. Like, me too.
He's not for me.
Why aren't they together?
I don't know.
I think there's too much history. I think there's too much mess. Like, how like when you've just been through something with somebody like, and it doesn't work, even though there's an attraction there, like they're better off separately and they're better off co-parenting and they're better off being friends. I'm not saying there's not like a fuck in a hallway sometimes, but like, I just feel like it's more better not together,
Did you feel Dorinda was slurring a bit? Just a hair.
Yeah, I did, for sure. I was like...
A little bit, just a hair. Just a hair.
They're about to throw subtitles on her.
I don't think we've ever had subtitles in a reunion. No. Maybe we have, but Sonia, God bless her. She's beautiful. The dress was not the most flattering, I felt.
No.
But
she looks great.
Probably because she dressed herself in her own line. That's what it is.
Her dress wasn't great, but her face and her chin.
Gorgeous.
Work.
And her side part and that sleek bob.
The Ellen Barkin. How much she loved Ellen Barkin.
Okay, I heard Ellen Barkin is literally a monster. That was amazing. She was like, Ellen Barkin is my idol. She's just, I've never heard someone wax poetical for so long about Ellen Barkin, but I guess Andy's friends with her.
It was nice to
hear. I heard she pushed a makeup artist out of a trailer. Like, the woman had her back out. The trailers, they're steep steps.
Yeah, big, like, high steps.
In a rage, just shoved her out. I don't know why I'm telling these tales. I don't know her, and I'm scared. And please don't tag anyone.
Don't tag Ellen Barkin, who I can't imagine is, like, all over social media, but you never know.
She will not, Danielle, she will not go quietly into the night.
Oh, no. You're right.
And I love her as an actress, but I heard that she's got a bit of a temper.
That tracks.
Yeah. That tracks. God, anything else about New York? I'm thrilled, looking forward to the next.
Yeah, we have stuff to come. I'm glad Tinsley is there. I'm glad we needed her back. But yeah, not much more to say this week about that.
I just have a quick little thing.
Sure.
Sonia, of like 3 weeks ago, DM'd me on Instagram about her diuretics. She was like, I've lost so much weight. I look so good. I figured it out. It was the diuretics. It's the water pills.
What are these fucking diuretic water pills that you're talking about?
It was random.
But like,
do you know her?
That's why I'm like, why is
what?
she coming to you? Like, it's
about her diuretics.
I don't know. But I was like, okay.
What did you write back?
I was
Great.
like, I'm glad you got it figured out. Like, it was.
I love how she's like, just so you know, Sam, if you were thinking something different, and you're like, I wasn't thinking anything.
Didn't even cross my mind, but she had to let me know.
God, but I
like that.
That is insane. I mean, you have so many funny, like, Instagrams. What you put up is so funny. Did you mention the diuretics? Although the diuretics was a shocking part of this, where Dorinda was like, I take them every day and I've never been loopy. Is this like phentermine? What are these water pills? Like, to make you shit?
No, I never mentioned these diuretics. I never mentioned Sonia's looks. Like, I don't know where this came from. Yeah.
So she just reached out because you have a great platform. And so she's like, here's someone with a platform who I want to know the truth about my water pills.
I'm kind of hurt. We haven't heard from her.
We haven't heard hide nor hair. I thought we had a connection, though I don't believe if I ran into her on the street that she could pick me out of a lineup. Like, I don't think she knows who I am.
No, but it's also, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay if I just like faded into the night, like, for her. She's got a lot to remember, and I want her, you
want her at her best. You
don't
want our faces.
I don't want to like bog her down.
Yeah, she needs to be free and breezy. But I'm glad that she's got you in her corner as a confidant.
As a confidant. Sam, has anyone else contacted you?
Leah and I talk occasionally. Yeah.
Ooh, on the phone?
No. Oh my gosh. No, we're not. We haven't taken that step in our relationship.
Okay. Scared me.
But on Instagram we talk.
What do you talk about?
That's wonderful.
She'll just like message me and like laugh and be like, oh my God, funny. Or, oh my God, I'm confronting Ramona at the reunion about COVID. I'm like, okay. Sounds good.
Wow. You're really.
That's what I love about this franchise is like, you can get to these women. They're not like Julia Roberts, like, oh, I could never possibly get to Oprah. It's like, oh, you can just DM them and hear back from them.
Yeah. And I really don't like befriending them because they scare me and I like them from afar.
But they want to befriend. They want to befriend because they want to keep you in their corner. I don't mean that about Leah, of course. She has no ill intent ever.
But yeah.
I met a friend of ours, Danielle, who shall remain nameless, who was just casually mentioned to me she was at the Married to the Mob party.
How was she there?
She's like, oh, I'm friends with Leah.
Wow.
Shocking.
Wow.
Shocking.
Wow.
She's like, do you want me to email her? I'm sure she'd be on the show. And I said, you know what? Actually, no. I've had this happen a couple times in my life. Like one time my beloved Regina Hall was like, hey, do you want to get a drink? And I couldn't write back because it was too much.
Like you want to make...
I'm going to disappoint her. I don't want that for her. I don't want me for her.
I used to do that with guys like that I really liked. If I like slept over at their house or something, I would just leave before, like, I wanted to leave before the party's over. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like if you have
before
like,
it's
10
begun
minutes
even
of me is enough. Like I don't want to like tip it over. You know, I'm
even wanting more.
I'm too
much. But then it kind of comes off as rude, ultimately.
I'd rather be rude than annoying is how I live my life. You know what I mean?
Wow. I'd rather be annoying than rude.
Oh my God.
I can't believe you're in contact with Leah. Well, that's wonderful. I'm just too nervous to have Leah on the podcast. Not that she's asking, not that she wants to, but I said, you know what? I can't take you up on that, but thank you.
Too close for comfort.
Yeah. Because I just love her too much.
Shall we move on to Beverly Hills?
Let's do it. Oh, Beverly Hills. What do you think, Sam? Kick us off. What are your thoughts?
I hated this reunion so much. And I'm not surprised Denise left the show, but I'm disappointed. And I think she was a really bad housewife. But yet I'm team Denise.
Me too.
Did you think she was a bad housewife this year and last season, or just this season? Like, where did this start for you way back?
No, it was definitely this season. She like really turned. I don't know. I feel so conflicted because she's obviously lying, but I'm on her side.
I think that's the problem.
Does that make sense?
Oh, that's the problem I face every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Cause I'm like, I just wish that she would just stand up for herself a little bit more. Instead, she's like doing the opposite of that. She's just like, okay, whatever. Like you can't be like whatever. on Real Housewives. You have to have an opinion.
Yeah, I feel like Erica Jane just posted something of like a door slamming and a goodbye. When in regards to her leaving, I'm not even disappointed. I'm just like, get the fuck off our show. Like, you don't want to share your life. You don't want to tell us what's really going on. Leave. Go.
Yeah. And like her lies about Teddy were so weird because it's like, you obviously don't like Teddy. I don't know why you're not just saying that.
But she was also wasted, it seemed. She was, and like burping and drunk. It was like Robert Durst.
I enjoyed that. I'm not going to lie. It was a pleasure to watch. But I will say that she's a bad liar. And on The Real Housewives, you need to be a great liar. Like Lisa Vanderpump is a grade A, gorgeous, awesome liar. And so you don't know, like, so if you're going to lie, which is really hard to do in reality TV because they have all the footage. So it's really hard to lie about something you just said. If you're going to lie, you have to be brilliant about it. And she's not. And that's where our problems come.
She's like not even trying. It's just, I just thought it was so annoying, actually.
I know. I was getting kind of annoyed with her when Andy was trying to like get her to ask questions or answer questions. And she was just like, yeah, whatever. Whatever. I'm like,
she had given up.
No.
I'm like, wow. Like, yeah, no, we're here. It was almost as if she wasn't there. I felt like we got as much as we would have gotten without her there. And so I didn't love, and I heard what Andy was saying of like, we already know the most, which is what Brandy said about, doing all of that to Denise. But I'm like, get her here. Maybe Brandy will shake this up and just confront her and like give us something.
We've never seen the confrontation between the two of them. And even, I think it was Kyle who said, why didn't you call her up immediately and say, what the fuck? If this isn't true, why didn't you call her immediately and say, what are you doing? This is such craziness. Why are you trying to do this? And she didn't. And I think because it's true. And do you think that Brandy's not on because of the cease and desist?
I don't think Brandy's on because like Andy said, it just didn't work out. Like what was the point of having her there?
Or maybe Denise was just like, I will not come if she's on. Like, and then they were like, fuck, we've never had resolution or anything from Denise. We've heard a ton from Brandy. If, Denise will just leave.
Yeah.
Andy said the word clit.
I know. That was really upsetting.
I found that.
I was like, Andy.
I liked it.
My God.
My God.
I liked it. I was like, say it again.
He did seem like really beautifully energized in the New York reunion, didn't he? Like he had a spring in his step.
He was happy to be with the people.
Yeah.
And that was nice.
He felt annoyed in the Beverly Hills reunion.
Yes.
He felt tired.
Yes, we all did. When Lisa Rinna said the grossest thing and we've heard her say the grossest things. We've heard her talk to her kids about giving head. I mean, we've heard some rough stuff coming out of her mouth, but when she said joyfully, my kids could care less about reading books, I don't know why it made me so ill. Like, because I think she was so proud of it.
She said it proudly. I also didn't like when she was like, Amelia Gray makes more money than anyone here. I'm like, sweetie, stop.
And when they applauded her for paying her own rent, I'm like, she's an adult.
Disgusting.
So that's great. Like,
that's great.
I was triggered.
Yeah.
I was triggered by that.
Yeah, that really got you.
As you should be. As you should. I mean, like, come on, man.
Okay, the best, it really did make me laugh. For some reason, the way she said it, I like did a big ha out loud by myself was when, when Andy was like, okay, Garcelle, you said all this stuff about Lisa Rinna and her weight and what do you think about this? And everyone's kind of going back and forth and Lisa fires back. And then Andy just says, Garcelle, do you have anything else to add? And Garcelle just pauses and goes, I do not. I was like, okay. Never heard a housewife say they have nothing more to add. It was just kind of like, those are the facts, Jack. I said what I said. I think Lisa Rinna is contributing to her daughter's eating disorder. Like, what more can I tell you?
She didn't. She had nothing more to say. What a shock and a relief.
How come Andy, in the same way he said to Dorinda tonight, are you concerned about your relationship with alcohol? How come he hasn't said, are you concerned with your relationship with your body, Lisa?
I don't think he wants to go there.
Yeah.
I think that's a tough place to go.
But what really bothered me about
you guys seem upset I said that.
No, I'm just thinking. No. I'm truly thinking out loud, which is, I think it's a very loaded conversation to have. And so I just, I think he likes to keep it light and breezy and also the dark stuff, but like, I don't think she's going to have any sort of like come to Jesus moment about that. So I just feel like he doesn't want to go there. I can't imagine.
The part that bothered me about the whole Garcelle Lisa Rinna situation is they cut an entire scene out. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's like been circulating like on Twitter and stuff of Garcelle, like right before or after she confronts Rinna about like dancing naked, her daughter's eating disorder and everything. She starts talking about her son and his like drug use and like it was like really opening up and stuff. It's like, so it wasn't like it just can't.
It did
like,
feel like it came out of, because I remember watching that scene and being like, wow, that came out of nowhere.
Right. It felt so flip and kind of aggressive.
Wow. It would have been nice to get some context there.
I know. And so they kind of made Garcelle look just like this bitch. And she's like, that wasn't the context at all.
Wow.
I was talking about my kids and like their issues and everything.
Interesting. That would have been nice to know. And I didn't see that.
I will give Rinna this, as much as she's annoying me, she is like water off a duck's back. Like she can own anything. She's just, I would have been like, I would have picked up a table and like thrown it if Garcelle had said that to me, probably because I would have felt guilty and like that it was true. Lisa was just like, yeah, no, she doesn't feel that way. Like, no problem.
Wow. Everything. She'll just be like, I am a fucking nightmare.
She's like, you know me.
She's like, I am a dum-dum. Like, she does not.
Now, what are your thoughts on Rinna, Sam?
Rinna has become she's become hard to watch, in my opinion. Like, I appreciate what she tries to do for the show, but at the same time, she's so fucking mean about it. Like, I just think she's so mean to Denise. And her and Erica together, I think they saw the fans, like, turn on them and are now just, like, coming for her.
The fans turn on them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, people do not like Rinna.
I don't either.
But you know what? The thing about...
They hate her.
I will say the thing about Rinna, which she has... Like, and she does in her career and she does in her life and she does on this show, that when she takes a dark turn and like is really unlikable, like in the Munchausen season, she comes back like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Like no one knows how to die and reemerge.
She can take feedback. She can take feedback, unlike Dorinda. But that's why I always say I won't get into it again. I think she's our fakest housewife because she's playing the game so obviously.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I think that that's kind of hard to keep watching. Like, It's hard to keep watching someone manipulate behind the scenes and like I don't know. And I just get kind of tired of her saying, I own it, when it's like, we don't really know anything about her.
Yes. There's no authentic moments.
Yes.
There's nothing.
Agree. Like all we get is like her, talking to Harry at home, who's like baking another blueberry pie and like going camping.
Yeah, like we're never going to get like a real moment of like a fight between her and Harry or anything. Yeah. If anything, it's like she's put her daughters out there so they can pay their rent and that's it.
But then she sort of organizes these moments of like, Harry really needs to be there for the girl. You know what I mean? But it feels produced. And that's my worry. I know a lot of people, and Casey, you might disagree with me and tell me if this is going to come up next week, but a lot of people are saying, let's have Kris Jenner now on the Housewives. Like I felt like that was kind of in the ether yesterday.
Wonderful.
On Instagram. But here's my worry with that. And I love Kris Jenner. But she needs to produce. Like Kris Jenner's in charge at all times.
Danielle, that's what you think. Really? She lets herself look like a goddamned idiot.
But she's in charge of it.
But she's so much more real than Rinna. She will go there. She will scream. She will cry. She'll do it. She will do it.
Okay.
I'm telling you. She's got heart. She's like a lioness.
All right. I'm hearing that.
I'd love to see it. If I saw that, I don't even know what I would do. I would honestly, I don't know what I would do if she joined and Corey was the house husband.
Oh, well, I think he already is one.
Yeah.
The role he's been playing anyway.
Yeah. Anything else, Sam, about this one? What's your thoughts on Erica?
Erica, I am so done with Erica. Erica needs to go. Those big ass eyes just like darting around my screen all day I can't stand her. I think she's fake and she gives us nothing. Like, I get so frustrated because in all the unseen footage, she seems so amazing and fun and drunk and eating snacks. And I'm like,
where was that I know. Where was that footage?
Like, where was this energy like for the last 4 years?
You know who I appreciated in the reunion? I agree with you. I feel like Beverly Hills, it's kind of a coldness to it. Like no one's letting us in anymore. Like Dorit was letting us in with her and PK, and now she's shut that door. And what do we have but a Buca de Pepa?
Yeah, we don't. She's always giving us a look.
When she goes, I need a hot chai latte. Someone, can you bring
I was
it?
like, who is she talking to at that moment? Like, who is she?
A
like,
very put upon
tell him
woman.
to make me a hot chai latte. And I'm like, who is this person running around her house during COVID, giving this woman
a very yeah, go ahead, Sam.
And the cordless phone.
A cordless phone.
I was like, what?
It was like from the 1990s. I was like, why do you have a cordless battery?
Honestly, I'm going to say it. I feel like the problem with Beverly Hills can be summed up in low battery.
Wow. I think we need to,
thanks, guys,
to end Beverly Hills on that.
Thank you, guys.
That beautiful analogy.
Low battery. So let's go to Potomac.
Okay, we're going to just take a quick break and then we'll get into Potomac.
Oh, this was the best episode.
It was wonderful.
Wonderful.
It was the best episode.
Although
Potomac is the star of the world right now. Potomac gives us everything. I mean, we really have to thank the women of Potomac for delivering in a way that no one else is delivering right now.
I mean, Dr. Wendy is not quite what I thought she was. Oh my God. Dr. W.
I love Dr. Wendy.
She is wild, but I did appreciate, like, I like the women that go nuts and then apologize. Like, that's a little Dorinda-esque.
And she did apologize. Like, it took her a long time, and we might not have seen the recognition of exactly what happened, but we got there, and that's enough in Housewives world.
We saw a mother whose child was in the NICU. That's what we saw there, like that explosion. And I did appreciate them fishing. I appreciated that conversation with Ashley. Guys, I was even charmed by Candace this episode.
Yes, but Candace was playing dirty.
I know.
Because when she and Wendy were talking, and Wendy was like, yeah, I came in a little hot, and Candace was like, you showed them who you are. Like,
yeah.
Like,
Candace is kind of my Kenya, because it's someone that I know no one else likes them, but I do. And Dorit had that too.
Yeah.
I love Candace.
Right?
I know she's
tough for me to love.
There's something lovable about her.
When she just sings
but she's so
too much.
Honest about her issues.
If I have to hear her sing happy birthday one more fucking time, it's between her and Lou. I just can't.
I did like that fake beauty pageant.
That was fun. They had fun. I loved the fake beauty pageant. I also loved, they had another, the pancake competition. I was having fun. I was really laughing it up. Like I was there.
Me too. I feel like Monique and Giselle have something fun. I just love Giselle so much. Okay. The way Giselle played the moment when Candace came out and said, I need to talk to you. Giselle knew in her mind, this is it. Something's coming. This is the role of my lifetime. She didn't know what it was, but she was like, okay, just tell me from the top. Tell me from the top. And she didn't even know yet what was coming from Candace's friend. I'm really fucking upset because I just saw today that Ashley Darby is pregnant for the second time.
Yeah, guys. Look, I wish everybody the love.
I feel like she told us that news. It's so perfectly timed to be like, oh, you think he was out at strip clubs and he has a boyfriend? Actually, I'm pregnant again. It's like, that makes us feel sad for you. Not like you're not vindicated.
And you're not proving anything to us. Like, my husband loves me. It's like, no, he's a bad man. It doesn't matter what. Like, he's a terrible husband.
She loves to be humiliated on TV.
I'm sorry.
She loves
What do you, and how do you mean?
Like, she just, every year, it's like Michael's grabbing a butt. Michael's touching another butt. Michael's out at a strip club. Like, she just cannot help herself. And it's, this little kangaroo is just.
Yeah.
He's
too much.
And he's hideous.
I know. He's hideous.
Ugh.
He's disgusting.
And she's beautiful.
Oh, she's stunning.
And she's a nice person.
She's so pretty,
I think she's a nice person, but she has no self-worth. I think it's very sad. Oh, maybe she does. I don't know.
It doesn't seem so.
I like her.
Yeah, I cry when I see her with the baby, and like happy tears, but also like I feel like she's going through so much and I just want good things for her. And the longer she stays with Michael, like, I just worry that she's tying herself more and more to this terrible man.
When she said that he hates being second, and like just the way that she said it, my heart kind of broke for her, because Michael's just so selfish. And
well, I'd like to talk about Monique's husband, speaking of men, though. Because when she starts telling him about the bird, and he's like, fuck the bird. I don't want to hear any more about this goddamn bird. Give me the deets about the goss. I was like, I love this.
Yeah, he's like, tell me what happened with Dr. Wendy and Ashley. He's like, that's what I'm here for.
Exactly. Nobody cares about the bird.
I feel like something dark is going on with Monique. Like, I feel like the bird is representative of something bigger.
Wow,
because the way that she was annoyed with Chris on the phone when he was like talking about getting it catered. And then just like, I don't know, her relationship with this bird feels there's something going on.
Yeah, like the bird's standing in for something. I think we're about to hear I think something wicked this way comes with me. I think you're right.
She said that she's putting something on the shelf and she doesn't know which one's going to fall first. I was like,
oh, that was so dark. Yeah. She's like, another thing I just put on the box.
Oh my God, chills.
Oh. La Dame is at her finest. I do too. La Dame is at her finest.
Oh, she's never not working well. She's doing great.
She's hilarious. I like that she's not like at the center of the storylines. It's not as dark. It's just, I just think Karen, I like that La Dame is not like the focal point of the stories. And, I like where she's kind of on the periphery, just giving us her zingers, but still reigning overall. I like it.
Yeah, she's sniping right now. She's like a sniper,
yes.
She's on the sides, but like giving us great content. I feel sorry for her with what's going on with Ray. I don't know why he can't be supportive of her. And she's always like, hi, sweetie, I love you. Like, I don't know if that's a performance, but I feel like she's giving him so much and he's not giving her very much right now. But I love the content she's giving us. I'm very happy. She's my favorite, one of my favorite housewives of all time. I just love her.
Stovepipe leg. I
Googled it. Mike, what does that mean? Does anyone know?
So it's like a terminology for when someone, it's not even a kinkle. It's like when your entire leg is just almost like a tree trunk. And yeah. And then of course immediately went to Giselle's Instagram and had to find a photo of her leg. And Giselle is beautiful.
And what do we have?
Giselle is gorgeous. Like Giselle is like the most beautiful woman we've ever had on any housewife show ever. Now, I never thought that Giselle's outfits were that bad, but it's being brought up so much this season. Like, have I just been blinded by her beauty that I haven't like looked past her face? Is that what's going on?
At BravoCon, I was startled.
It's bad, Danielle.
What was she? What did we have?
I just remember being like struck by how beautiful she was. And then you just look down and it's like this mess. It's just a complete mess.
Kind of like the New York reunion set.
Yeah, there was just a lot going on, and it was not good.
But I feel like Karen's really going after it this season in a way that it's making me laugh. It's just like, it's always just like, well, like, look at her outfit, see how she's doing. Like, she just is coming for her. It really tickles me.
Now, Sam, I'm looking through your Instagram because you have so many like funny comments. Do you have a real job or is this your job?
Oh, no, I have a real job. I do not make literally a penny off of this Instagram.
Well, you should be.
I love it. I mean, you have so many hilarious comments on here. Like, you have such a funny page. It's really, really funny. What is your favorite moment in all of Housewives? Like, what to you stands out as like one of the funniest things you've seen happen?
Okay. Obviously if I'm going back, the family van is like one of my favorite things. And it's honestly like the littlest moments for me too. Like
moment.
When Kim Zolciak is telling Dallas Austin that she's really smart and she can spell cat and she spells it K-A-T. And everyone just kind of like pans, like the camera just kind of pans. It's just like little stuff like that just kill me.
This is a brilliant thing you also said on you put in a lot of pictures of John Cougar Mellencamp and Meg Ryan, and you said, "I'll never forgive Teddy Mellencamp for never giving us the cameo we all wanted from Meg Ryan." And I think we all wanted that.
And they're broken up. We're never getting it.
Missed opportunity.
You also have a lot of just content that makes you think. For instance, in one, you have a photo where the screen is split. One half is Gia and one half is from Southern Charm, Naomi. And you say, anyone else shook by the similarities or is it just me? These are think pieces. And by the way, now I'll never not see it. I love this.
You know, people were split on it.
Okay.
People were like cussing me out, but I see it.
Really? You have people like saying stuff like that?
Yes.
Getting like really truly
like
angry with you
my ass. Yes.
For comparing their noses?
Yes. They'll be like, you're blind. You can't see. I'm like, oh, you're right. Okay. I can't see.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
passionate.
Like I said, people do get angry.
You're right, Danielle. You are
people
right.
People are passionate.
I felt it. I have definitely felt it.
Yeah, I have too. I have felt it. It's like we're trying to entertain you guys about the housewives. Take it easy.
And then you just think like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what am I talking about?
Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
What am I doing? And then we keep doing it.
I can't stop. I'm addicted.
Yeah, me too. Your page is so funny. I'm a grandma calling it a page, but your account?
Your gram?
What do we call it?
Your gram?
You can call it anything you want, but
your Insta.
Your brand?
Your Insta.
Yeah. My IG.
And so if anybody wants to find you, it's the best place to go. Your Instagram at bravohistorian, any other places.
But you know what? Last thing, you also have a lot of like breaking news, like Carolyn Stanberry's new man. Like you're really keeping us, apprised of all the tangential figures that we also want to know about as well, which I appreciate.
Thank you. It's like I said, I don't get paid a dime for this.
Yeah. But you get paid in our love, which I think is worth more than money.
You have no idea. I've been listening to this podcast for a long time.
Oh, you're so nice.
You're
Thank
so
you for
young.
listening.
You were probably born the day our podcast started.
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed when you did that chorus line reference, Danielle.
I know. She was like, what are you doing?
Sam was with us.
Look, there was a reproduction of it a few years ago. It's not, and I wasn't alive when it started. So everybody be cool.
Yeah, be cool. Sam Bush, the Bravo historian, thank you so much. So nice having you on. Follow her. She's got a lot of wonderful commentary that we need in this
Thank
world.
you for having me.
Of course. Of course. Thank you, Dana at Earwolf, Caitlin at Earwolf. Thank you. Thank you. Go to our pages and find out how you can join us at the Vote Mama fundraiser, September 24th. Danielle, as always, thank you.
Thank me too.
Okay. Okay. Well, goodbye, everyone.
Love you guys.